Hey everyone, today we are going to be doing a Sunday haul video. So these are my famous haul videos. They're not really famous, but I guess among my subscribers, they are very popular. You guys seem to love these and love this format. So for all of you who are new, who have not seen one of these videos before, it's sort of like part haul and then part mini reviews or speed reviews. So in the beginning of the video, I'm going to be just turning the camera around and unboxing everything. We're going to be doing swatches. You'll see the products close up, get to learn a bit about them. And then at the end or the second part of the video, I'll actually be giving you guys mini reviews on everything that I got a chance to try out. So you are getting my feedback. It's not just a haul. And if you're bored with the unboxing part and you don't really like that sort of thing, you can always just skip to the second part. I'll have timestamps down below and you can just watch the mini reviews and I'll kind of refer back to everything that I opened. So if that sounds good, be sure to stay tuned. And if you like honest and unsponsored makeup content, be sure to hit the subscribe button. As you're gonna see in this video, I am here for you guys. I'm not here for the brands. So even if the brand sends me something in PR that I unbox, I am gonna be completely honest with you guys, brutally honest sometimes, but I feel like there are just too many paid and fake reviews out there and I wanna give you all my honest thoughts always. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump right into the unboxings and then I'll meet you guys back here at the end. Hey guys, it's Monday, so I just got back from vacation. This is everything that came in while I was away, so I figured we would unbox everything, do swatches if applicable, and you know, as things come in throughout the week, I'll unbox those as well. This is kind of a mix of things that I purchased myself, like either before my vacation or while I was away, and then PR packages. So anyway, let's go ahead and open everything up. All right, guys, so my first box is from Rhode, and I actually purchased some things myself. I've been wanting to try this brand for a long time. It's had so much hype, and I just haven't gotten around to it yet. So I ended up ordering a few things before I went on vacation. I got some skincare. I got the glazing milk, which of course I think is their most popular product, or at least one of, as far as the skincare goes. So this is like a milky toner. It has ceramides, beta-glucan, hyaluronic acid, zinc, and copper. So I just want to quickly see what the packaging looks like and the texture. So here's the bottle. It actually looks kind of small. This was $30, I believe, but it's actually 4.7 fluid ounces. So I guess it's just kind of deceiving. Let me see. So I'm just going to pour a tiny bit of this on my hand just to see what it's like. Actually, for a toner, it is a little bit thicker, and I've heard that that's because it has zinc in the formula. Zinc, as you know, if you've tried a zinc sunscreen, it makes things really thick. So it's probably going to be really nourishing. So far, it feels nice. It remains to be seen if it's as good as the other milky toners I've been using from K-Beauty and other brands. I mean, I think there are definitely ones that you can get cheaper than this, but if this is something extraordinary, something, you know, much better than those, I'll definitely let you know. Also, I got the peptide glazing fluid. So this is a dewy hydration layer, it says, and it's supposed to give you plump and hydrated skin. It has peptides. Let's see, what are the ingredients like? It has glycerin, niacinamide, peptides. Those seem to be the main ingredients in here. So, you know, again, nothing too extraordinary or different than a lot of other products. But let's see what the texture is like. So again, this is the packaging. You're getting 1.7 ounces in here. It just looks really tiny for some reason. So let's just pump out a little bit. There we go. Oh, it's actually much thicker than I thought it was going to be. So this is a thicker serum-like texture, but actually when you go to rub it in, it thins out quite a bit. It kind of just melts. And again, I mean, it feels really nice. The texture of it kind of reminds me of some of the K-Beauty serums that I have. Again, I'll be testing these products out this week and I can let you know at the end of the video what my initial thoughts are on them. I also had to get some of their color cosmetics. Their blushes looked so cute. I ended up getting 3 of them to try because I couldn't pick one color. And I also got some of their lip balms. Let me just move this box out of the way, actually. So the 3 shades of blush that I got were Piggy, which is the cool tone pink, then Sleepy Girl, and spicy marg. So I tried to get a mix of, you know, warmer tone, cooler tones. So let's see what these look like. These claim to be a flush of satiny buildable color that melts seamlessly into the skin. And it's also infused with peptides as well. So here's what the packaging looks like. They're really cute. They're supposed to be like a pocket-sized blush. And then the actual blush itself is really small compared to the width of the packaging. So I guess you just kind of twist it up from the bottom. And this is the Piggy shade. So I'm just gonna do some swatches of these right here. Oh wow, that was actually a lot more pigmented than I thought in one swipe. All right, that's actually beautiful. They seem like they have a little bit of a dewy feel, so I'm not sure how they're gonna blend out, if they're gonna be a sticky type of finish. I hope not. So let's see what Sleepy Girl looks like. This one looks pretty dark in the tube, but I'm guessing it blends out a little more sheer. So that's what that color looks like. And yeah, this is sort of like a rosy brown. That's really pretty as well. Again, I don't feel like these colors are anything that I don't already have probably in my collection, but I really wanted to try the formula more than anything. So here's this one. It's a really bright coral. That's beautiful. And yeah, again, I'm really shocked at how pigmented these are in one swipe. Usually with a blush stick, when you first get them, you kind of have to go over it a few times, like kind of get them started. This was just like, boom, right away. So anyway, let me see how these blend out. I'm just gonna try blending this one, and we'll see how it goes. It definitely has a little bit of dewiness, but it doesn't feel sticky. It actually feels a little bit moisturizing and almost maybe a little bit blurring, but it's not that powdery feel like some blush sticks have. It does have a slight bit of dewiness, but I don't think it's bad. But on my dry skin, I think it actually is probably gonna dry down all the way. So just blending these out, you can see they do sheer out the color quite a bit. So anyway, guys, I'll definitely be trying these out this week and I'll let you know my thoughts. Also, I got 2 of their peptide lip tint. Again, I got a cool tone and then I got a warmer kind of nude shade. So these are Shortcake and Toast. And these say that they have peptides in them. It says apply this daily for a sheer kiss of color and hydrated soft lips. So I'm kind of curious to see how these compare to something like the Summer Fridays lip balms or the Naturium ones. It seems like kind of a similar product. And I think these are the ones that fit in their famous phone case that went viral. But I feel like I heard more about that phone case than I did about this actual product. So I'm curious to see what they're like. Here's the applicator. It's just like a standard slanted plastic applicator. And I want to know, I guess, how much color these have. So here is Shortcake, I think was the name of this one. It's just a really cool toned light pink, and it looks like it's gonna be really glossy. They don't seem to have any scent to them, which is good. And then let's see what Toast looks like. I think these are pretty sheer overall. Yeah, this is Toast. That one goes on almost clear. You can see a little bit of the color, but I'm not thinking that these are the type of gloss that you're really gonna get a lot of pigment out of. So again, I'll definitely be trying them and let you know what they look like on, but just in a swatch, they don't look super pigmented. So anyway, that's what I got from Rhode. Next up, I also had purchased the Blake Brown hair care from Target right before I went away. I actually tried to find it in store. It was sold out. They still had it on the website at the time. So I ended up buying most of the products. I don't think I got everything, but since then, I've heard so many different things coming out about this line, people absolutely hating it. I saw someone on TikTok say that she works at Target and it's like the most returned product, that people are just returning it in droves. And I have seen a few initial thoughts from people on social media saying that this made their hair look really dry and frizzy. So I'm kind of not excited about trying it anymore, but I still want to give it a fair shot. I think, you know, Blake Lively right now is in a bunch of drama and hot water from, you know, certain things that she's said and done as far as like her new movie and other things that they're dredging up from the past. So I don't know if the people that are giving this a really bad review are just maybe because they don't like her, or if like it really truly isn't good. So I'm gonna just try to give it a very unbiased opinion, but it wasn't cheap. You guys, this was like $19.99 for each product. So I mean, it's not drugstore pricing at this point. So I really, really hope it's good. So I got the Nourishing Shampoo and Conditioner. So these are just supposed to be hydrating. And then there's also a strengthening shampoo, and it's not really conditioner, it's a hair mask. She doesn't do conditioner apparently. So this line is supposed to be more repairing, like for damaged hair. Then I also got the All-in-Wonder Leave-In Potion. And this is a pre-shampoo mask, which I thought was kind of cool because I've been doing a lot of hair oiling lately, where I'll put a hair oil in right before I wash my hair. I don't think this is like that necessarily. I think it's like a creamy mask, but let me just see what it says. Yeah, I mean, it says like it's supposed to give your hair the new car kind of feel. And the only thing I'm not crazy about this is it says you have to put it on wet hair and then leave it on for 30 minutes, which is going to mean getting in the shower, putting this in, getting out of the shower, and then going back in to rinse it out and shampoo and condition. So I don't love that. I almost feel like I just want to return this now that I know that that's what you have to do, because I was thinking this is just something like a pre-treatment that you could just put on dry hair and then shampoo it out. I mean, I don't know. I may try to do that and see what happens, but I don't like fussy products or things that are going to take forever. So I don't know about this one. I might actually just bring that back. As far as the scents go, though, these are supposed to smell really good. This is Wild Nectar Santal, and then this one is Sandalwood Vanilla. So let me just see what they smell like quickly. So this actually, it does smell really good. This is kind of like fruity but musky at the same time. And this one, yeah, this is probably my favorite. It definitely has the vanilla in there, but there's also that like musky, spicy undertone that they both seem to have. And then this leave-in conditioner is Bergamot Woods. This is a spray though, so I don't know. Let me see. I'm just gonna put a little bit on my hand. All right, so actually this is a thicker kind of a lotion that you spray on, which again, it makes me a little nervous because I have fine hair. So this may be a little heavy for me, I don't know. But again, it smells so good. These all kind of smell like perfume. So I don't know, I'm a little wary about trying them, but I'm hoping for the best. I'll let you guys know at the end of the video. Moving on to some PR, I got a package from Beauty of Joseon. I was so excited when they reached out to me because you guys know I love their products. I use their Dynasty cream. I use their sunscreen, which is amazing. So apparently they have a new sunscreen, and it's in the same line as their original one. So this one is the Relief Sun Rice Plus Probiotics SPF 50. They have a new version that is the Relief Sun Aqua Fresh. It's supposed to be a lighter weight formula for oily skin. Honestly, I felt like the original was really lightweight to begin with. It has an absolutely beautiful texture. I've talked about this before. Actually, you know what? I don't want to open this new one because I have one open already. But I will open this because it's different and I want to see what it's like. So they sent like a whole booklet about this here. I'm not going to like read the whole thing, but I just want to see. This says it's good for combination to dry skin and it has a natural to dewy finish. This one is for combo to oily skin and has a sheer and weightless finish. Both of them have the rice water, the rice extract. This one has probiotics. This one has vitamin B5. And it says here that the new one is sheer, semi-matte, and is darker skin friendly. This one says it has a glow, it's radiant and natural to dewy. And then it's funny, they even have reviews from their team that are in here, like it's the most weightless sunscreen I've ever tried, like I'm wearing nothing. Again, not gonna read it all, but this is like a very comprehensive guide that they sent me here. So anyway, let's go ahead and just try this on my hand. I'll see what it feels like. Let's just squeeze out a little bit. It definitely seems thin, so that's what it looks like. And oh yeah, that is really nice. It's very serum-like, I would say, but yet it still feels hydrating at the same time. So I think even with dry skin, this would still be perfect. And honestly, for me, the lighter the better when it comes to sunscreen. I love the original. I think that's very lightweight, but this one, it disappears so quickly. just goes right into my skin. And I feel like, I mean, if you're the type of person that wears your sunscreen as a moisturizer, you might want something a little bit heavier like this. But I normally put sunscreen on top of my moisturizer already, so I don't need it to necessarily add more moisture. I just want it to kind of disappear. And I think that's what this does. I mean, it really, that's amazing. It doesn't seem to have a discernible scent either, which is so nice. That's amazing. You guys, if you like the original, and I know many of you do, I think this might be a great one to check out as well, especially if you like something even more lightweight. Next up, let's move on to a couple things that I got from Sephora. I did get another one of the Fenty Cheeks blushes because the ones I tried, you know, if you saw, I think it was a couple of videos ago now, but I absolutely loved the ones that I got, and I wanted this shade Petal Pop in, but they didn't have it at my local store, so I ended up just ordering this off the website. This formula is just incredible. It is so nice. They're powder blushes, but they go on like a cream. They just melt right into your skin. They're so effortless. They look so seamless. And I thought this color looked beautiful. So this is more of a cooler tone pink. Not even really that cool tone though. If I'm looking at it in the pan, it looks kind of warm. I don't know why. I guess I was thinking it was cool from the website, but I just want to show you the texture of this. So when you put your finger in, like there's no powder kick up. It's just kind of, it looks like a cream blush on my finger right there. So it's just beautiful and really super thin and weightless as well. So I'm just going to put this in a swatch really quick. You can see like it just melts. It's amazing. I'm just gonna pick up a little bit more. The texture is just so different. It's so unique. Again, there's just no powderiness, no kick up. It's beautiful. So I'm really excited just to have another one of these. I highly recommend them. If you've been curious as to whether or not these are worth it, I would say 100%. They are definitely worth it. I don't think you'll be disappointed at all. I also had to do it. I had to get the Natasha Denona I Need a Warm palette. You know, it looks like a lot of other palettes that I already have. I'm not saying that this is unique in any way, but I do collect her palettes and I do find myself getting a lot of use out of them when I buy them. So anyway, let's take a quick look at the color story. I'm definitely going to do some swatches. So the outside cover reminds me a lot of I Need a Nude, which again is a lot cooler tone than this. I wouldn't say that that one is a completely cool palette. It does have some warm shades in it, but this one is, I'm pretty sure it's going to be all warm. So yeah, we do have like the burnt orange over here on this side. Maybe a couple of these browns down here might be a little bit cooler in tone or at least more neutral. I think it's a very balanced color story. I don't think it is overly warm. Again, you have these toastier shades on this side of the palette, but over here it looks largely more neutral. So anyway, let's go ahead and just do a couple of live swatches. I'm curious about the formula because she always kind of puts some new finishes in these palettes. So this shade looks interesting. It doesn't look like her normal sparkly foiled shade. It actually feels kind of like those old school metallics. And then I also want to see this Phenomena shade because it looks like it has a little bit of a duochrome shift. So let's check that out. Oh yeah, look at that. How pretty is that color? It almost shifts to green a little bit from orange and yellow. So, all right, I'm gonna put these live swatches just right here. Yeah, so that shade is a beautiful, like full pigmented metallic. It's not a topper. And then this one is gorgeous, really shiny, really foiled. Actually, if you look at it in the pan from here, look at that. It looks like a dark reddish copper, but it also looks yellow at times. Like it looks like a gold if you look at it this way. So it definitely has that really cool shift to it. Let me just pick up a couple of these. Ooh, this one, I thought it was gonna be one of her sparkle toppers, but it almost feels like a cream. That is interesting. And then over here, same thing. I don't know if this is a new texture for her, but yeah, it goes on kind of like her wet look shadows. But again, I think really nicely pigmented. It doesn't go on sheer at all. And then these sort of feel the same. I mean, all of these shimmer shades in this palette feel very creamy and like they have a lot of pigment, which, you know, I think we saw those very sheer, glittery, sparkly toppers for so long. And now it seems like brands are almost going back toward the more full pigmented shimmers again. So anyway, these look really pretty. I'm gonna go ahead and just swatch the whole palette on my arm and I'll be right back. Okay, so before I show you the swatches, I just wanna quickly mention this matte shade for sure is a cream to powder. I don't think the others are, but they felt so smooth and so soft. I thought that they were cream to powder, but just looking at them like from the side, I can tell that this one looks like a cream and the rest of them look like they're powders, but they all were so incredibly silky. So I just want to show you the swatches, and this is the cream to powder, and then all the rest look to be regular powder formula, but I mean, it's just one swipe and they didn't have any kind of patchiness. I'm just adjusting the lighting here because I feel like it's a little bit dark. But anyway, just look at how pretty this is. It really, I mean, again, it's nothing new. I'm sure we all have shadows like this in our collections already. I think if you have the ColourPop Bare Necessities palette, you have all these colors. But at the same time, if you like Natasha's formula, I think this is beautiful. And I like, again, that she didn't go too warm with it. It's not full of like orange and yellow and red. They're all very wearable, neutral colors that, you know, if you're somebody who doesn't wear a lot of color, I think you'd really like this. I also think this one is more wearable for most people than her golden palette that she came out with more recently, because those golds don't always go with everybody's skin tone. But I think these toastier shades, a lot of brown in here, I think, you know, and like the champagne golds and stuff, they're just a little bit more friendly toward all skin tones. At least in my opinion. I know the golden palette is also a warmer palette, but for me, this one would just be easier to wear. I don't know about you guys. You'll have to let me know down in the comments, but I really like this one. I'm definitely gonna try it out this week, and I'll let you know my thoughts at the end. All right, guys, next up, I got a PR package from Sacheu. I think that's how you say this. These are the Peel Off Lip Stain. And I've seen these all over TikTok. You basically, if there's a picture on here, I think I saw it. Yeah, so you can either use them as a liner. I've also seen people use them just all over their lips. And you put it on, you let it set for like 10 to 20 minutes, and then you peel it off. And then it's supposed to last all day. And when I've seen people using this, it looked so cool, and it looks like it's a non-drying type of thing. So, you know, it takes a while. The stain really sets into your lips, and then you're just good to go for the whole day. Like, there's no texture to it. It's not like a matte liquid lipstick. So I just want to open one really quickly and show you what these look like. This is the shade Mauve. And this is actually one of the colors I was hoping they would send, because I've seen people using this and it looks so pretty. So I believe they do sell these at Ulta. And I know they say you can get them on TikTok Shop as well. So this is what it looks like. It ends up being, you know, a really dark color. I'm gonna demo these, I think, and I'll show it at the end of the video, like what actually happens. I don't know if I wanna put it on my hand. It's probably gonna leave a stain, but I just wanna show you. It's really thick like that. And then you just have to wait for that to dry. And then it ends up, I guess, peeling off and leaving the stain behind. I don't know, they make it look really easy on TikTok, so I don't know. I'll have to let you guys know how it works out and if these are worth all the hype. I did get another lip stain though. This one I purchased myself, actually. This is from Wonderskin, and this is their Wonder Blading Lip Stain Mask. So kind of like these. This is something I believe you put it on, but instead of peeling it off, you just wipe it off with a damp tissue. So I got the shade Whimsical, which looked like it was going to be kind of a cooler, dusty pink. And I'll just show you what this looks like. So again, it has kind of a similar applicator. Oh, this actually kind of goes on purple, but it's supposed to just leave that stain behind, and then you wipe it away and it leaves behind the pigment. So anyway, I'm gonna try this too, and I'll film myself doing it so we can really test these out and see if they work. Next up, I ordered some fragrance mists from Phlur, and I've been wanting to try some of these for a while, but they just released this one, Heavy Cream, and that's what I think made me pull the trigger. I wanted to try this so badly, and then I ended up just getting a couple more that I wanted. By the way, those lip stains were on my hand for not even a minute, and they already left a stain, so far so good. Anyway, back to this. So their body mists are actually, I have vanilla skin, and it is so long lasting for a body mist. It's like a perfume. I mean, it lasts all day on me. So I think these are great if you're into, you know, the lightness of a body mist, but you want the fragrance to stick around a long time. I think these are awesome for that. So anyway, on the bottle, it says here the notes are on the top, lemon sugar, marshmallow, and orange. Then we have jasmine blossom, coconut cream, and vegan ambretolide. I'm not sure what that is. Maybe it's like a vegan amber. The base is vanilla mousse, salted caramel, and whipped cream. It sounds so good. Let's see what this smells like really quick. Just spraying a tiny little bit. I'm just gonna leave that for a second. Oh my goodness. Okay, that does not disappoint at all. It has the sugar and marshmallow, like I can smell that right away, but also like that little bit of orange in there gives it a little more lightness. It's not like a super heavy, like too sweet. I mean, it is very sweet, don't get me wrong, but I think the orange and the jasmine blossom are just helping lighten it up a little bit. But mostly what I smell is definitely like the lemon sugar, the marshmallow, the coconut, the vanilla. It smells heavenly, honestly. It's a really super creamy gourmand. I love it already. Like first spray, I love it. Another one that I wanted to try is Amber Haze. I absolutely love amber perfumes. So the notes on this one are saffron at the top, then jasmine at the heart, and the base notes are amber, vanilla, musk, and oak moss. So with the saffron, it kind of made me think of Baccarat Rouge. I don't know if it's going to smell exactly like that, but I just love amber perfumes in general. It's one of my favorite fragrance notes. So I'm just going to put this one over on this arm. I'm going to smell really interesting today. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. It really does smell just like Baccarat Rouge, or it's a little bit sweeter than Baccarat. So to me, it smells a bit like Ariana Grande's Cloud perfume, which I already have, or the Sol de Janeiro number 68. Really similar to that. If you like any of those fragrances, I think you'll like this one a lot. Like I said, it definitely has the Baccarat Rouge vibes, but a little bit sweeter. And then the third one that I got is Caramel Skin. I was between this one and the coconut, but since the heavy cream already had the coconut notes in it, I thought that I would try the caramel one. And like you guys know, I'm just a sucker for gourmand scents. So top notes, we have bergamot and caramel. In the heart, we have warm milk, vanilla bean, and caramel cream. And then at the base note is brown sugar, sandalwood, and musk. Sounds heavenly. I can't really spray this on either one of my arms. I guess I'm just gonna put it on my hand and we'll see. Like I said, I'm gonna have a bunch of scents going on here. All right, so this one, it's probably my least favorite out of the three that I got. It reminds me a little bit of the Vanilla Skin, which I already have, but it has more of the caramel note in it. But overall, it is just really, really sweet. I mean, the other two are sweet, and I like sweet fragrances, but this is kind of like almost bordering on a little bit too sweet for me, too much for me, but I do like it. It smells good. I'll have to just wear it around more and let you know, but so far, heavy cream, definitely my favorite. This smells incredible. Also, I ended up grabbing some more of these Blurry pudding pots from Fwee on Amazon. These are amazing. I have 3 of them already, and I want more shades. Like they come in tons of different colors. I don't even know how many, but it's like a humongous list of shades that these come in. So I've just been getting a couple at a time, but it's the coolest formula. So I ended up getting Baddie, which looks like a purpley shade. I got BFF, which looks like just kind of a warm pink. And then I also got Without, which is supposed to be more of a pinky nude. So I just want to swatch these for you really quick. So this formula, if you haven't seen my other videos where I talked about these come in these cute little glass pots. They're actually adorable, and you can use these on lips and cheeks, and they're this really neat kind of like fluffy whipped texture. So they have a matte finish, but on my lips, they don't actually feel that dry. They're so airy and light that I feel like they don't sit heavy on your lips like some matte lipsticks do. They almost act like a stain. So they're really long lasting, and they're just very comfortable to wear. They're very creamy. So this is the purpley shade. This one, again, is called Baddie. So that looks really beautiful. And another thing that I love about these two is they go on pretty sheer, even though they look really dark in the pot when you first pick them up. They sheer out, but you can also layer them too very easily. So if you want more intensity with the color, it's easy to do. So this one I think was the BFF one. Let me just double check. Yeah, this one is BFF. So this one is a gorgeous pink. That's going to be really beautiful too. And I really love that you can use these on both your lips and your cheeks, because I'm really into matching these days, like just putting the same color on both. It makes things so much easier. So anyway, this is the shade Without. Ooh, this looks like such a beautiful pinky nude shade. Oh my gosh, look at that. It's so subtle and so pretty. Just going to pick up a little bit more. That is stunning. I'm really happy with all three of these colors. On the Amazon site, they do have like lip swatches and cheek swatches of all the shades, so it makes it kind of easier to pick out ones that you'll like. But just a huge range of shades, and I just love how soft these are. I brought a bunch of them on vacation with me because, again, it's just so easy when you have a product that's just one product you can use on both lips and cheeks. And I love that they're non-drying as well. So highly recommend these. You can get them on Prime shipping, so usually when I order them, they come in like a day. All right, guys, so just a couple more boxes. I got one from RMS Beauty in PR, and I was so excited when they reached out to me after they saw my video that I did on them, and I was so excited. I love so many of their products, and I love the founder, Rosemary Swift. She's a makeup artist, and I watch her TikToks all the time, and she has such amazing tips. I've totally relearned how to apply blush and bronzer because of her, and I'm just loving the results. So anyway, let's see what they sent over. This actually says from the desk of Rosemary Swift. How cool is that? She said, I'm thrilled to introduce to you my latest creation, Suncoverup Super Tint SPF 50. It's a luxurious silicone-free tinted moisturizer that offers deep hydration with a silky finish. It's a mineral SPF 50 and gives powerful protection, so you can just get on with your day and look radiant at every hour. I chose these two shades for you so you can experience the next level clean innovation daily all year round. So let's see what these look like. I'm not sure how many shades this actually comes in. And on the note here, it said that she just selected these two shades for me. So we have Buff and Tan. I'm not normally tan in most things, so I don't know if this is what I'm thinking it is. Let's see. So probably going to be a little bit too deep, although this bottle is beautiful. Let me try Buff and see what that one looks like. Let's see. Yeah, this one is probably closer to my skin tone. So this is a super heavy bottle. It's glass. And again, it's SPF 50, broad spectrum, mineral sunscreen. It says that this is silicone free. It's a moisturizer. It gives lightweight, breathable coverage. And it also has something called Glowplex to smooth, firm, and brighten. And it claims to give 24 hours of hydration. So the sunscreen in here is zinc oxide. So let me just swatch this color really quick and we'll see what it looks like on me. Let's see. All right, it's actually a pretty thin formula. It feels more like a serum type texture. Definitely a little bit more yellow undertone than, my skin. Obviously, next to this, you can see I have quite a bit of pink in my skin. But let's see how it blends out. If it's really sheer, it'll probably be fine. So yeah, I mean, it is definitely more sheer coverage, sheer to light, I would say. And it feels really nice, very hydrating, like a moisturizing serum, basically. And it does give your skin a really nice, pretty glow. And it feels amazing on my skin. It feels very smooth. I don't feel like it's sinking into lines and pores and all of that. I feel like it made my hand look really good. So I'm excited to try this. I will definitely be testing it out this week, and I will let you know my thoughts. Next up, I also got a PR package from Finery Perfumes. So if you don't know about Finery, they are available at Target, and they're kind of like a dupe brand. So they like to dupe a lot of the higher end perfumes. So I'm really excited to see what they sent over. I haven't actually opened this yet, but let's see. So they just sent a little booklet. It looks like some of their perfumes with the fragrance notes. And wow, they also have like a whole newsletter here describing the fragrances, which is really cute. Then inside, Okay, it looks like they sent 6 fragrances plus some honey or peppermint eucalyptus lozenges for the fall. A little notebook, super cute. What is this? A bag, maybe? Aw, this is so adorable. Yeah, it's like a little tote bag. That's awesome. So they sent over 6 fragrances. Just at a glance, it looks like they're kind of in all the different fragrance categories. Like we have a skin scent. This one is more aquatic. This one is more warm. This is gourmand. So we have like a little bit of everything in here, which is really nice. So I'll start with the ones that I already know because I have a lot of their fragrance mists, but I've heard so many good things about the perfumes that they last longer. And I think these are all around $29 for the bottle. So that's a really good price. These are 2 fluid ounces. So Without a Trace is basically a dupe for Phlur's Missing Person. So it kind of has like a similar play on words there, Without a Trace. And the notes are neroli blossom, cedarwood, and suede musk. So it's just, I don't think it's all the notes, but it just kind of gives you an overview of what it smells like. So here's a look at the bottle, and this smells really nice. It's fresh and clean, but it has a little bit of that warmer skin scent to it. It's very, very lightweight, almost like a baby kind of a scent. So like I said, it's just really fresh, clean, super light, so it's not something that's going to be too overpowering. Another one that I'm really familiar with is Not Another Cherry. So this one is a dupe for Tom Ford's Lost Cherry, and it smells so much like it. I mean, this is a really great dupe. So the kind of overview of notes for this one is wild cherry, Turkish rose, and almond amaretto. And it does smell like cherry, but there's that little bit of like a burnt, almost like fire or smoky note, like undertone to it. So this one is really great if you like a little bit more gourmand scents, but also if you like that little bit of smokiness. I think it's a really great scent for fall. Another one that I'm really familiar with is the new Rouge. This one is a Baccarat Rouge dupe. It smells almost identical to it. And the notes are golden saffron, amber resin, and sandalwood. So if you haven't smelled Baccarat Rouge, it is a little bit sweet, but it's also a skin scent at the same time. It's like that warm, cozy cashmere kind of scent. It wears close to the body, but it just smells so good. It's one of my absolute favorite scents. Then these 3 I'm not as familiar with, but Midnight Cafe I heard is a dupe for YSL's Black Opium. So this has creme de cafe, jasmine absolute, and patchouli. So it's gonna be a little bit heavier, warmer, kind of spicy scent. I'm not a huge fan of Black Opium, so I don't think I would like this one. But if you like those scents, then this definitely might be one to check out. Mysterious Nomad, I haven't smelled this one either, but I've heard that it's a dupe for Byredo's Gypsy Water. And this one is bergamot, black pepper, and hinoki wood. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly. So let me just quickly see what this one smells like. Like I said, I haven't smelled the Byredo one, but the notes do sound really interesting. That's actually really nice. So this one, it's almost slightly masculine. I definitely smell the wood notes and the pepper. It almost has a little bit of leathery undertone to it. That's amazing, actually. If you like a more woody, leathery, almost slightly, a little bit of sweetness to it too, which I think is what I'm liking about it, but it's not sugary sweet. I think this is gonna smell amazing. So I'm definitely excited to try this. Again, I think another great scent for fall. And then when it comes to Mystic Figures, I'm not 100% sure what this is duping. It's more of an aquatic scent. So it has Mediterranean fig, ocean air, and salted sage. So I don't know if this is a Jo Malone sage and sea salt dupe or possibly Phlur's father figure, but it's that type of oceany type scent. So let me just take a quick sniff of this. Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely more aquatic. Not my absolute favorite scent. It's just not my vibe. It's a little bit herbal, but almost like astringent at the same time. So to me, it smells a little bit medicinal, like to my nose. Not a huge fan of this one, but again, I tend to go for the sweeter, more gourmand scents. So if you like more oceany type scents, you might really like this one as well. So anyway, I just wanted to mention these quickly. You can get them at Target. $29 for the Eau de Parfum is really good. The body sprays, I want to say, are like 15 bucks, something like that. But again, those really aren't super long lasting. So I think if you want something that's going to last longer, I would definitely grab the perfumes. They're still way, way cheaper than the originals. So they do an amazing job at creating the same scents for less. So definitely check these out. Hey guys, it's Tuesday. I just got a box from Rephr and I see that they have a new collab with Alexandra Anele. Looks like she created her own brush, and it says here that it's a multi-use makeup brush. So they did send that to me, as well as just some, I guess, other brushes in their collection. So sent me number 13, number 14. Yeah, they sent me all my favorites. Number 2. The people over at Rephr know which ones I like at this point. So number 15 and number 3. So these are all like the really small brushes that are amazing for hooded eyes. So happy to have some extras of those. And this is Alex's brush here. So this is the AA01. This looks really nice. It's supposed to be a multi-use brush. Oh my gosh, that is so soft. That is super soft. I've noticed with Rephr, that their face brushes are not always the softest. Sometimes they can be a little scratchy. I love their eye brushes, but I haven't been a huge fan of their face brushes in the past, like just totally being honest with you guys. But this one, wow, this feels so good. So I think this is definitely an upgrade. I'm not exactly sure. I haven't seen her video on this yet or anything, but I mean, I see here she's applying highlighter with it. So I'm guessing it's great for that. It is more of a small size, like for the cheekbones. It doesn't necessarily look large enough to apply blush with or bronzer. So I'm gonna have to just read up on this and see what it's for. I'm super happy for her. I think it's so well deserved. She has an amazing channel. Like I said, I learn a lot from her. So anyway, that's one thing that I got. And also something that I purchased myself that came in today is a toner from Thayers. So many of you actually recommended this to me. There was a video I did a couple weeks ago where I was talking about a Milky toner from Bioma that I got at Target. I really love that one so much. And a lot of you recommended this and said that it is even better than that. So in the past, I have avoided the Thayers toners because they have witch hazel in them. And I feel like on my dry skin, it's just not great. But this one doesn't have it, which is awesome. This one says that it has snow mushroom extract, hyaluronic acid, and elderflower water. And it's supposed to help build up your barrier and give 48 hours of hydration, which seems kind of crazy. But anyway, I just want to quickly try some of this and see what it's like. All right, let's take a quick look. And I'm curious to see now how this compares to the glazing milk from Rhode that I talked about earlier in the video. I mean, it definitely has that thicker texture, just like the Rhode one. So I'm excited about that. And oh my gosh, this actually, I feel like it's a little bit silkier than the Rhode one. It has a lot of slip to it, and it's not sinking into my skin quite as fast as that one did. So I feel like this might be a little bit more hydrating, and it's definitely cheaper. I want to say this was $12 to $14, somewhere in that range, and the Rhode one is $30. How many ounces is this? Okay, yeah, and this is 12 ounces. I think the Rhode one I said was 4.7. So you're getting almost triple the amount of product in the Thayers one. And wow, I mean, my hand feels so good right now. So plumped up. I'm excited. So I did use the Rhode one last night, and I do like it. I felt like it was very hydrating. My skin looked good when I woke up this morning. But now I'm going to try this one tonight, and we'll see how they compare. I'll let you guys know at the end of the video what I think. Next up, I got 2 boxes from Clarins. The first one has their new black and white lip oil. So their lip comfort oil is one of my absolute favorites. These are available only at Sephora, so they have the exclusive. And the black one is a custom shade of shimmery plum and golden pearls. It has one of those like pH adjusting formulas. And then the white one is a silver iridescent shimmer for sparkling shine. So kind of like a topper. So I just want to quickly swatch these. So here's the black one. And I've noticed that with these pH adjusting formulas, which aren't really pH adjusting, by the way, it's just marketing, but they usually turn this one funky shade of hot pink. But if you tint it a black color, it usually comes out more plummy, and I think it's a lot more flattering. And just on a side note, this smells like cotton candy. It smells so, so good. So I'm just gonna let the color develop on that for a minute, and we'll just swatch the white one. I don't see this coming out any sort of way. I doubt it's gonna show up much on my skin, but it looks like it just has a little bit of sparkle and sheen to it. So let me see. Yeah, maybe you can see it better at that angle. Again, it's just clear. It has a little bit of shimmer to it. And then the black one is a really beautiful plummy shade. And if you haven't tried these lip oils, they're amazing. They have such a nice, thick, cushiony feel. They're not one of those thin lip oils that just kind of sinks into your lips and disappears after a few minutes. They stay put, and they really make your lips feel so hydrated even for a while after they wear off. So I absolutely love these, and I just wanted to share that these are at Sephora now. Also from Clarins, they sent me a couple of their skincare masks, and I'm really excited to try these. These are going viral on TikTok. I've seen a bunch of stuff about them. So the first one they sent me is the Cryo Flash Cream Mask. This is supposed to be an instant tightening, firming, and glow boosting mask. It says that 97% had a cooling effect, and that the skin had a visible lifting effect, pores are visibly minimized, and skin's radiance is boosted. So that sounds really great. And then the second one they sent me is the V-Facial Intensive Wrap. This is supposed to depuff, relieve, and brighten. And like they said, it's supposed to depuff and give you more of a visible sculpted jawline. So that sounds really cool as well. So here are both the masks. I just want to open them quickly and kind of see what the texture and the scent is like and all of that. All right, so this is the Cryo Flash one that's supposed to have a little bit more of a cooling sensation. It's kind of like a pistachio green color. I'm just gonna put a little bit on my hand. It's very thick and just really rich and creamy. It does actually feel cooling, wow. And it's supposed to just tighten your skin as well. This one is just more of like a rich, creamy texture. It's a little bit bouncy actually, and it feels slightly richer than the other one. So here's what that looks like. And yeah, this one is definitely like it's gonna take a little bit more to rub it into the skin, whereas the other one just kind of sank right in. And this has more of like a perfumey scent. It's a fresh scent. It's definitely pleasant, but I just wanted to put it out there. And once it blends in, my skin feels really super soft. And with these, I believe you do have to rinse them off after 10 minutes, so it's just a traditional type of mask. The Cryo one also has a really light and fresh scent. So anyway, that's what I got from Clarins. Hey guys, it's Friday. I just got a package from Huda Beauty, it looks like. And it's her new Easy Blur primer and foundation. So she just has a before and after here. It's supposed to basically make you look like you have a filter on. So that sounds really good. Honestly, I haven't had the best luck with Huda Beauty's complexion products. I do like her loose powder, but in the past, her foundations and concealers just looked really dry on me. So I'm hoping that this one's a little bit better. So she sent it in this really nice box. Let me just get the big box out of the way. So look at how beautiful this is. It's actually, I want to use this for a makeup case when I'm done, because I'm like for a travel case. It's so pretty. And then inside we have the Easy Blur primer, 3 shades of the foundation, and then the Easy Bake powder. And also she has a face base brush. So the 3 shades she sent me are Creme Brulee, Cashew, and Shortbread. Shortbread is the shade that I usually am in her products because it has a little bit of a cooler pink undertone. So I think I'm gonna open this one, and I also wanna try the primer as well. But like I said before, I'm a big fan of her powder. So I'm just gonna move this out of the way, and we'll see what these feel like really quick. So the Easy Blur primer is a silicone-free smoothing primer. And here's what the tube looks like. I'm just gonna put a little bit on like half of my hand, and we'll see if it blurs my skin. So it comes out pink like this. And ooh, that's interesting. It's silicone free, but it feels like it has silicone in it. It's reminding me right away of the Wet n Wild Impossible primer in the tube. Not the stick one, but the tube one. It feels almost exactly like that. And I'm pretty sure that one is silicone free also. And yeah, as I'm continuing to work this into my skin, it almost turns into what feels like water. And that's exactly how the Wet n Wild one feels too. But I mean, I do see a little bit of subtle blurring on this side. Not too much, but it definitely seems to do something. Next, let's check out the foundation. This says it's a natural airbrush foundation. It has 1.5% niacinamide, and it's supposed to be weightless, comfortable, and have a buildable blur. It also says to shake it really well before you use it. So again, this is the shade Shortbread. I'm curious to see if it looks different on the primer side versus just without the primer. And color-wise, it's still a little bit yellow. Honestly, all of her foundations usually are for me, but you know, I can make it work. I can definitely blend it out. So this seems like it's got medium coverage. It is very thin and it's going into my skin very quickly. So it's not a greasy or dewy foundation. It dries almost instantly, like a self-setting type of a formula. And I would say it has a skin-like finish. So it looks kind of satiny. It's not a flat matte, and it's also not dewy or glowy. It just has that slight hint of glow that your skin would normally have if it's moisturized. So I'm actually really excited to try this one. I think, like I said, my hand looks really nice and smooth. So I will keep you guys updated for sure, and I'll let you know at the end of the video what my thoughts are. All right, guys, so we have reached the review portion of the video, so we have a lot to cover here. I'm gonna just give you my thoughts as quickly and succinctly as I possibly can. First up, let's talk about the Blake Brown hair care products. So as you know, when I was unboxing these, I was very apprehensive about trying them because of all of the negative reviews. So many people I've seen saying that they returned it because it was horrible, it made their hair dry. I actually did not find that to be the case at all. I'm going to show you a clip of what my hair looked like right after I used the nourishing shampoo and hair mask, and I also used the All-in-Wonder leave-in potion, and I found this to make my hair look really nice. Actually, my hair looked bouncy, it had volume, it did have a bit of shine as well. There is this one little piece of my hair that I'm showing you here that is from when I had skin cancer on my scalp, and that hair has started to grow back in, and it's only a couple inches long, but for some reason it's really frizzy and it won't lie flat no matter what products I use. But other than that one little piece that's kind of sticking out, the rest of my hair looked really good. I felt like it had a lot of movement to it. I was really kind of impressed with the way that my hair looked and felt. I also thought that the product smelled really good. I think, you know, when it comes to something like a hair mask, you really have to make sure that you're leaving this on the full 2 to 5 minutes that it suggests. And I don't know if people are just maybe putting this on as a conditioner and leaving it just for a minute or 30 seconds or whatever and rinsing it out too quickly. I left it on for probably like 3 to 4 minutes just to really make sure, and I made sure that I coated my hair really well too, that I just put it everywhere, even up at the root. But I think that the All-in-Wonder leave-in potion also had a lot to do with the way my hair looked, because I put this in while my hair was damp, but you can also use it on dry hair to kind of combat frizz. But I noticed that this just gave my hair that extra slip and it felt really nice, honestly. So I don't know if my hair looked the way that it did from the, you know, the combination of the 3 products, or if it was largely due to this. But I did feel like when I was rinsing the mask out of my hair in the shower, my hair felt very silky, really smooth. And even the next day, I was pleasantly surprised that my hair still looked really good. And second day hair for me is kind of hit or miss. Sometimes I feel like I need to just wash my hair again the next day, depending on the products that I use. And other times I feel like I can get away with it. And in this case, really on the second day, my hair still looked fantastic. I was really, again, surprised by that. So all of that to say, I think these products actually performed really well. My biggest negative is the packaging. I think the packaging is terrible. Like the shampoo, for example, it has this wooden top. It looks beautiful, but when you go to take this off, right, you put shampoo in your hand, then you have a handful of shampoo and you have to put this cap back on somehow and screw it back on with shampoo like in your hand. It just doesn't work. It's dripping all over the place. I ended up just kind of setting this down and I put the cap on later. I just kind of put everything down with one hand. But it's a little cumbersome. It's also huge. So if you don't have a lot of space in your shower to put products, that's going to be a problem. And the same thing with the conditioner. It's like you have to, you know, take this big top off rather than just having a flip cap or something that would be easier. So anyway, I didn't use the strengthening shampoo and conditioner yet. I just used the nourishing one. But so far I like it, and I really like the leave-in potion. I think if you're going to try one product from this line, maybe start with this one, see how you like it, and then if you do, you could always go back and try the shampoo and conditioner. I felt like, you know, they're good, but are they better than like the Dove shampoo and conditioner that I talked about a week or two ago that are $3.99 each? No, I think you probably don't need to spend $19.99 each on any of these products, but I did have a good experience my first time using them, so I will keep you updated. That may change over time. Next up, let's talk about these viral Clarins masks. So I tried the Cryo Flash one first. This is the one that I just have seen it all over TikTok. Everybody is flipping out over this mask. It's the one that's supposed to cool your skin down by 7 degrees, and it's supposed to like shrink your pores and tighten everything. Now, I put this on and almost right away it had a cooling sensation, but it didn't really kick in until after I had kind of applied it all over my face. I didn't personally find it to feel cold. Like, yes, it did feel cold, but it also was almost like in a stinging sort of a way. Like I applied chemicals to my face. And that's probably because the active ingredient that's in this that causes it to feel cold is a menthol derivative. So you know menthol, it's in cough drops, and it has like this sort of sometimes like a pepperminty sensation. It gives you that really refreshed kind of feeling, but it also can kind of feel cold. To me, it just felt a little bit irritating, and I did see a cosmetic chemist on TikTok talking about this mask and how it's really just the sensation of coldness because of the menthol derivative. It isn't actually cold, if that makes sense. So it's like a sort of a trick in your mind, and it makes me think of like the lip plumpers, for example, that kind of sting your lips so you feel like they're doing something. In this case, it feels cold, so you feel like it's tightening your face, but I don't really feel like it did much of anything. Here's a before and after, you know, my skin from one to the other. And I mean, maybe like my eyes look a little bit more refreshed and awake, but that could have also been just from splashing water on my face to get rid of the mask. I don't know. I don't see really any tightness or firmness going on. If anything, I thought that my nose looked a little bit more red in the after picture, like my skin was maybe a little bit irritated. So I to be honest, I don't know what all the hype is about with this one, but the V Facial Intensive Wrap, I actually really like this one a lot. Now it is expensive. I think it's a $70 mask, so it's not cheap, but I used this one. I put it all over my face. Again, I left it for the 10 minutes. And this is the one that's actually supposed to depuff your face, and also it's supposed to kind of tighten and sculpt, and it's supposed to give your skin more radiance and brightness. And I did think that this one was incredibly hydrating. Compared to the other one, I didn't really feel any moisture from that. This one felt so good, and when I rinsed it off my face, it felt so velvety, soft, and smooth. I couldn't stop touching my face, and I actually used it again today, and I feel like my skin is just so soft and plumped. So again, I'll show you the before and after. I don't know that I necessarily see the tightening. I did try to concentrate the mask on my jawline a little bit because it's supposed to depuff everything. So I don't know, you guys will have to tell me if you see a difference as far as like my jawline or any depuffing. Again, in this one also, I think my eyes do look a little bit less puffy than they did in the first photo. But what I liked about this the most is just how soft and plumped and hydrated it made my skin. I mean, it was a huge noticeable difference. So would I pay $70 for it? I don't know. Like I'm just being real with you guys. I got this for free. So of course, like I'm using it and I'm loving it, but I don't know. I might buy it if it was on sale. I think part of the problem is I'm not really a mask person. I don't use them very often. If you're somebody who, you know, you use masks all the time and you see it as kind of like part of your self-care ritual, and it might be worth it for you. But if you're somebody who rarely ever wears masks, I think it is very expensive. So I think whether or not it's worth it is kind of more subjective, but I will say it is one of the nicest masks I've ever tried. So we'll leave it at that. Moving on then, when it comes to skincare, let's talk about these Rhode products really quick because, you know, these are so hyped. And again, I did get the Glazing Milk toner, but I also got the one from Thayers. So I said I was gonna compare these at the end of the video. And I have to say, this Thayers one really holds its own. This one, I think when you apply it, the Rhode one, it makes your skin look a little bit dewier, like it kind of gives you that glass skin effect where your skin looks shiny. And Thayers one really just sinks in and almost disappears, so it doesn't leave that glow. So I think, again, like it depends on what you're going for. I don't really like to look shiny and greasy, so I prefer the way that this one looks once it's on my skin. And also, I think this just is way more hydrating than this one. I mean, they're both great. I'm not saying that this is bad in any way. I think it's a beautiful toner, but it's also $30. This one is half the price. You're getting way more product in it. Like I think, what did I say? Almost 3 times the amount. Yeah, this is 12 fluid ounces. This is 4.7. So when it comes to value, there's no contest. The Thayers beats the Rhode hands down. And also if you're looking for hydration, I think the Thayers does beat the Rhode one because my skin just felt a little bit more hydrated with this one. This actually takes some work to like get it to go into your skin. It has a lot of slip and like a slippery feel, and you just kind of have to massage it around almost like a serum versus a toner. It's a little bit thicker. This one is hydrating, don't get me wrong, but it just went in a lot quicker. So I think if you're really dry, the Thayers one is amazing. This is good too, but it's a little bit pricey. And also the peptide glazing fluid from Rhode. This is nice too. I really have been enjoying using it, but at the same time, is it different than some of the serums that I have from K-Beauty? Not really. I have a collagen serum from Numbuzin that I really love. And again, I think it's a little cheaper than this one. And again, when I put it on my skin, it feels pretty much the same. So this is another one. I don't feel like it's completely necessary to spend the money on something that you can get cheaper other places. I know Naturium also has like a peptide serum that's really good. So when it comes to Rhode, I'm left with the impression that their products are good, but they're nothing that you can't get other places for cheaper. I think the hype is mainly because it's Hailey Bieber's line and it's a celebrity brand. So of course you're gonna have her fans buying this. I don't know, that's just my take on it. Same thing with the peptide lip tints. I actually didn't try these on, so I want to do that really quickly so that you can see the colors. I did wear these a few times during the week just to try them out, and they're fine. They're very thin lip balms, so I felt like they didn't last as long as some other thicker formulas that I like. For example, the NYX Fat Lip Oils, the Clarins lip oils, even like the Naturium ones, they're a little thicker and they tend to stay on my lips longer. These are almost bordering on a lip oil. They're super thin, and for me, they just disappear really quickly. But this is the shortcake one, so they don't leave a ton of color either. They're really sheer. I'm just gonna put on Toast really quick. They also don't have a scent, which is nice. But do I think they're worth the money? No, you can get stuff like this at the drugstore for cheaper, and for me personally, that I think is a little bit better. So anyway, here's the shade Toast. I think I probably would have liked these a little bit more if they had more color to them. They just are so sheer, they almost look like you're putting on a clear gloss. So for me, the only thing that I really loved from Rhode were their blushes. I actually do like these a lot, the pocket blushes. These are super nice. I'll just quickly cut to a clip of me applying all the colors so that you can see what these look like. I was very impressed with how pigmented they are. They just swipe on so easily, and they're really silky and smooth. And when you go to blend them out with a brush, they blend very effortlessly. You can use your fingers too. I haven't tried them with a sponge because I didn't want them to sheer out too much, but I just found them to be super easy to work with. They're, like I said, very easy to blend. They don't look patchy. They left my cheeks with enough pigment where I didn't feel like I had to go back and add more, but at the same time, they weren't overly pigmented either. Even some of the darker shades, I think they blended out just the perfect amount, and they didn't stay sticky on my cheeks either. They dried down to more of a powder finish, which I was kind of surprised by. I thought they were a little more dewy of a formula, but on my dry skin at least, they're not. They just sank right in. So I have to admit, these are really good, and they're long lasting too. I put these on in the morning and I see them still at night when I'm going to take my makeup off. They last all day, at least on me. So I think if you're gonna try anything from Rhode, these would be my #1 pick. All right, let's move on to the lip masks. So starting with the Sacheu, I don't know how to say this. Sacheu, I think it is, right? Sacheu, I don't know. Anyway, these peel off masks are overhyped city. I am so disappointed in these. If you watch people on TikTok, they make it look so easy. They just put it on, then they peel it right off. It comes off in one sheet. They have this beautiful stain underneath. And I'm convinced it's because the people who are demoing this on TikTok probably have lip filler, and so their lips are perfectly smooth. I have all of these like cracks and valleys in my lips. I have a lot of lines. And so I think like when I put this on, the product kind of sinks into all of the lines and wrinkles. And then when I go to rip it off, I'll show you guys just me applying it and everything. When I go to peel it off, it just doesn't work. So I applied a very thick layer because they say that's what you need to do. You have to apply enough that you can grab it to peel it off, right? So I put on the full amount. I let it sit for close to 20 minutes. I wanted to make sure it was really ready to peel before I attempted to do it. And when I went to go peel it off, it just didn't come off in one shot. I got about half my lip before it broke, and then I had to kind of dig with my nail to lift up some more of it and then get the other half off. And the bottom lip was even worse. I felt like it pulled off some of my skin, and it actually left a sore spot on my lip. I have this dot right here where I'm like missing skin on my lip now because the lip mask just sort of pulled it off. And I did exfoliate my lips beforehand because they said to do that, make sure that everything is really smooth. It didn't matter. And once I was actually able to get most of the product off, there was still some mask left behind. So then I had to take like a damp tissue and try to rub and get the rest of it off. And it did come off, but I felt like it took a lot of the stain with it. And when all was said and done, this color, which was mauve, it did stain my lips. I mean, they definitely looked darker, but I also noticed like some irritation around my lips as well. And I think that was just from like me trying to pick at the thing to rip it off, you know? So it wasn't the best experience, and I felt like the stain itself didn't look smooth. It looked a little bit patchy, and it also didn't last as long as I was thinking it was going to. So I know it was only my first attempt with this. I might try it again at some point. Maybe I'll try one of the different colors and see if that's any better. But this is just one of those products that really I was excited about after seeing all the TikTok videos on it, and it just let me down. But I will say the one from Wonderskin was so good. Oh my gosh, this one, first of all, so much easier. With this, you're just supposed to put it on your lips, let it sit for like 30 seconds to a minute, and then you just remove it with a damp cloth. So you don't have to peel anything. I think even if this peel off one did work out the way it was supposed to, I think it's just like you have to sit there with this black stuff on your lips for 10 to 20 minutes. It's not like a quick process. The Wonderskin, again, it's like a minute and you can wipe it off. I actually left it on for closer to 2 minutes just to make sure that the stain really set into my lips. But once I removed it, I was pleasantly surprised by how good it looked. The stain looked really even. So when you put this one on, it looks kind of like a dark blue color. And as I let it sit there for the 2 minutes, I did notice that there was a little bit of like tingling sensation, almost like slight burning sensation. It wasn't bad by any means. It was just a little bit. And I kind of worried about allergic reactions. But then when I read the product insert, they did say that that's totally normal for this, that this product actually is like laying down a film on your lips and it can have that little bit of like tingling. So I didn't really worry about that too much. Then I just took the damp cloth and I removed it. And the stain that was left behind was so much more even than the peel off one. And this color, Whimsical, is so pretty. It's just a barely there tint. They do have darker ones. So if you want results that look a little bit more dramatic than mine, they do have like a ton of colors that this comes in. But I was just looking for something that was like a Your Lips but better sort of a color. And not only that, but I went to bed, I woke up, and my lips still had the stain on them. So this is one that I think seems really promising. Again, I've only used it once, so I'll have to kind of field test it a little bit more. And I'm thinking that maybe I'll try a darker color as well, because I think if this one did look a little bit patchy, it would be hard to notice because it's not that much different than my lip color. If I had one that was darker and it was wearing away funny or something, I would probably notice it more if it was a deeper color. So I think I'm gonna probably try another one just to be sure, but I loved this. And I also didn't feel like it made my lips feel dry. They looked a little bit drier than normal, which was an easy fix. I just put some lip balm on, but it wasn't like, you know, those matte liquid lipsticks where you actually have product sitting on your lips and it just starts to feel dry and look cakey. With this, there's nothing on your lips. It's just a stain that's left behind. You actually wipe the product off completely. So it didn't have that same really drying effect. I just really enjoy this so far, and this is one of those products that I think really is worth the hype. Next up, I did have a couple of foundations that I tried. The first one is the RMS Suncoverup Super Tint. So I ended up using the Buff shade, which I think once I applied it to my face, it looked okay. It is a very sheer product, very light coverage, and I applied it with my fingers because that's how I would normally apply a sunscreen, which this basically is a tinted sunscreen. I certainly didn't want to use a beauty sponge because I don't want to thin out the product. That could affect the performance of the sunscreen. So I would recommend using either your fingers or a brush with this. And it is a little bit on the thicker side, like a lot of zinc oxide sunscreens are. And it did also have a little bit of a greasy feel. So if you're oily, I don't know if you're really gonna love this texture. With my dry skin, I felt like a little sticky and dewy at first, but after a couple minutes, it just sank right into my skin and I thought it looked beautiful. So I am liking this so far. I did just try it once. I think the biggest negative for me is that it didn't stick to my nose. I kept trying to put layers of this on my nose and the pink still kept showing through. So I think it's just the oily feel of the product that was doing that. This has jojoba oil and it has olive oil in it, and olive oil is definitely a heavier oil. So again, if you're not dry, I don't know that you would really like this. I know that olive oil is like, it can be comedogenic. It has the possibility of clogging pores. So if you're oily or even combo, I don't know that you're gonna want to risk this. You might just wanna use it if you're dry. But for me, I really enjoyed it. I felt like it made my skin have a nice glow, and at the same time, it didn't settle into fine lines or wrinkles. It didn't look cakey anywhere. It had a really pretty dewy finish. So overall, I am liking this so far. Next up, I also tried the new Huda Beauty Easy Blur foundation and primer. So I did use the shade Shortcake for this. And with the primer, I applied it just to one half of my face because I wanted to see what the foundation looked like with the primer and without. And as far as this primer goes, it reminds me a lot of the Wet n Wild Impossible primer. It feels almost exactly the same to me. It has that slightly slippery feel at first, but then it almost like turns into a water type feeling on your skin with a little bit of a cooling sensation. It does feel really cool, but I didn't necessarily notice it blurring anything. I know it's supposed to, but to me, I didn't feel like that side of my face looked any more blurred than the other side did. And then as far as the foundation goes, I did use the brush that she gave me, which I really do like a lot. And I felt like it was a nice medium coverage foundation. Huda's formulas normally don't work for me. They're usually very dry, but this one, even though it was a little bit more of a soft matte finish, it's not like a dewy, glowy, moisturizing formula, but I thought that it sat really nicely on my skin and I didn't have anything clinging to dry patches. I don't feel like it settled into fine lines or pores. I'm actually wearing it today in the video and just looking at my skin in the mirror, it looks really smooth. I mean, I'm actually loving the finish on this one. In some ways, it reminds me a little bit of the new e.l.f. foundation. It's a little bit more matte than that one. That one I think has a very satin skin-like finish, but just in terms of the coverage and how thin it is and how natural it looks on your skin, I really do like that. And honestly, I didn't notice a difference between the primer side and the foundation side. Honestly, I felt like both sides looked the same. So I would skip the primer. I didn't really notice it doing much for me, but the foundation so far is really beautiful. It does have a nice smoothing effect on your skin. So I'm really liking it. Thumbs up for now. Again, I'm gonna have to, you know, wear it over time a little bit more, but so far so good with that. And then when it comes to the I Need a Warm palette from Natasha Denona, I am wearing that today. And I actually had fun playing with this. I don't think it's anything super special. Again, if you have any other warm neutral palettes in your collection, I don't think that these colors are gonna be much different than what you have, most likely. The only exception is this Phenomena shade right here, which is the shifty shade. That one is a little bit different and a little bit more unique, but if you enjoy her formula and you want something that's warm toned, but it's not as warm as something like her Sunset palette that she came out with, I mean, that was years ago now, or the Golden palette that she came out with more recently. Those tones might not suit everybody, but I think this one is just a little bit more universal and easy to wear. And I really love these toasty shades, especially if I'm wearing something that's a little bit warmer, which I tend to do more in the fall. So I do like this palette. Is it necessary? No. Like I said, you probably have these colors a million times over, but if you collect her palettes like I do, if you're a fan of her formula, then you might want to just grab this. I do have a 15% off code with her. It's Jen Phelps, so I can leave that down below. But anyway, just quickly, I'll show you how I got this look. So I started out with the shade Mellow, which is like that really pale peachy tan shade. It's almost like the same color as my skin. It's just a little bit deeper and a little bit warmer. And when I applied this to my crease, I think it definitely looks very peachy on me, a little bit more than it did in the pan, but I thought it was a really pretty shade. Next, I deepened up my crease a little bit with the shade Ripe. So I just applied this one just under the first shade, a little bit lower down toward my natural crease. And this just helped to warm things up a little bit more. Then I picked up the shade Vim, which is this dark chocolatey brown in the middle, and I applied that to the outer corner of my eye with a flat brush. And I just started blending that back toward the center of my lid, just to give the outer edge a little bit more definition. And then for my lid, I applied the shade Homey, which is this beautiful kind of taupey champagne shimmer. So this one is one of her like wet look shadows. It has little tiny micro glitters in it. And this is one of the only shades in the palette that doesn't have a little bit more pigment to it. This one's a little more like a topper, but if you watched my unboxing part, you might remember me saying that most of the shimmers in this palette are actually a little bit more pigmented and not like toppers. But this particular shade is a little bit more on the sheer side. I still felt like I had a decent amount of pigment, but maybe not as much as some of the others in the palette. Overall though, I love this look. I love the colors that I used. So I do really like this palette, but again, is it totally necessary? Probably not, but I'd love to hear from you guys down below. Are you planning on getting this one? You may have already. Let me know your thoughts. Also, I just wanted to quickly mention these again, the Blurry Pudding Pots from Fwee. I do have one on my cheeks today. This is without, and this is the soft pinky nude shade. I absolutely love this color. I think it gives just enough of a tint. It looks so natural. I actually am wearing this on my lips as well. It is a super subtle color, and I think because it's so neutral, you could probably wear this if you had a cool toned eye or a warm toned eye. Like I have warm tones going on right now, and I think it matches really well. but I think if I had a cool eye, like let's say I had grays or something, this would also work with that too. So it's just a really versatile shade. I'll just put a little bit more on my lips. And what I love about these is that they have this velvety yet bouncy texture, and somehow it does not feel dry on your lips, even though it's a totally matte finish. So this is why I've been collecting these. They're just so fantastic. So I'll make sure to link them down below. So anyway, guys, that's all I have. If you made it to the end, thank you so much. It really helps out my channel. The more you watch a video, the more it'll boost it and YouTube will share it with other people. So I always appreciate it if you watch to the end. Also, I love hearing all of your thoughts and opinions on all of the products that I talked about down in the comments. So definitely let me know your thoughts. If you've tried any of these or if you're planning on buying them or skipping them, let me know what you're thinking. And if you enjoyed this video and you have some time to watch another one, I'll just put a couple right over here so you can check those out next. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you all in my next one. Take care. Bye.